Thank you so much for everything.
Goal uh, is there on your screen. And welcome everyone to today's webinar on 10 critical steps before ERAS submission. I think all of you right now are preparing for submitting your ERAS, or maybe few of you maybe applying next year. So these are the important tips which we are going to share, which you should follow before your ERAS submission. So we are excited to have you join us here as we explore the essential steps to successful match into your desired specialty. Whether you are a medical student or graduate, these insights will prove invaluable in your journey. So now I would now let's welcome Mr. Pawan, Chief Mentor of USMLESarthi. He mentored more than 1,000+ IMGs in last 5 years. And he is guiding throughout the journeys in IMGs. And today he's going to share all the steps which you should take before submitting the ERAS. What tips you should use, what tricks you should apply, and what are the do's and don'ts before the application. What is necessary, what is not. So these are very important things before applying, and this will help you to create your valuable ERAS, which a PD can inside. They can see like, yes, this their ERAS application is stand out, and PDs can recognize those signs. So let's welcome and give a virtual round of applause for Pawan. So you can say hi or welcome in the chat box. Hi,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swati. Okay. So welcome everyone. And as I was looking at the results of the poll, a lot of you are applying this season. So with about a month to go, we thought it'll be a good idea to get you some sense of the top things you should be focused now. I know a lot of things are going on, and with 1 month to go, there may be some confusion in terms of what to prioritize, what not to prioritize. So that was the reason we wanted to just get this webinar done with, and we will take your questions. Sejal and Swati from our team, as you know, already are there. So you can ask question in the chat box or in the Q&A, and Sejal will or I will try to respond. So Swati, let's get started. What's the first thing we want to discuss?
So let's start with the topics, like what are the 10 things we should do. So first question is, can you tell us how a IMG should choose a specialty, how it will work, and why it is important for an IMG?
Okay, a very important question. So by now, all of you should have figured out a primary specialty to apply. And it is very important in this season or starting this season because the ERAS has changed. You should all be aware, which I'm assuming you are, that ERAS starting this year will limit you to 10 experiences only, whether it is your work experience, USCE, research, rotations, which is USCE, volunteering, hobbies, everything put together is only 10. Now, what difference does it make? If you are applying to, say, more than one specialty, it is hard to balance. Let's take neurology and IM. Let's say you're applying to both of these. Now, you don't want a situation where the IM programs feel that IM is a backup, neurology is your first choice, or vice versa, because every program or every specialty will be able to see different experiences which are limited to 10 in your CV. So the choice of specialty is very, very important. You should have figured it out by now. So if you have not, and if you have questions, we can definitely talk about it. But that's the first important thing I want to talk about.
So how USMLESarthi can help an IMG to choose the specialty?
So specialty will depend on a lot of factors. So for example, your prior experience, assuming you have 2 or 3 years of biology. So your prior experience, your most recent USCE will determine also the choice, because how they will come up in ERAS is in the reverse chronological order. So most recent experiences show up first, then the letters of recommendation from that specific specialty are also important. You don't want to apply to, let's say, psychiatry with IMLORs or vice versa, right? So the letters of recommendation in that specialty will also be useful. So if you join us, we'll go step by step into your profile. And if you are still confused on what specialty should be your primary, we can help you with that.
So my next question is about the personal statement. Like earlier, we used to make 2, 3 personal statements as per the specialities we are applying. Right now, with these new ERAS changes, what are the impact for the PS, and how IMGs should use this PS?
So again, good question. I think you can still have more than one PS, because if you're applying to IM, FM, neuro, psych, some of these combinations, you obviously can make specialty specific PS, because that is assigned separately to the program. You can also make different types of personal statement, one for community programs, one for university programs, highlighting possibly more research versus clinical work in the other. So there are various ways to do it. And again, our team can help you decide on all that. Just remember that all the personal statements, when you submit, they will be read. A lot of students feel that personal statement is not important. Probably sometimes when the programs are sending out invites, they may not have read your personal statement because they use filters to send out the invites. But before the interview, this will be definitely read, and your story needs to be coming out. It should be flawless in terms of grammar, in terms of storyline, in terms of the impact you have created. And that's where, our journalists review it twice, and our physicians also give you input on the personal statement. But the point is, personal statement, do not think this is just 700 words of a statement that you can put together. It takes time, so might as well start now.
Okay, so personal statement, who should write the PS? Actually, most of the IMGs ask this question, like who is the best one to write the PS? Who should write
So the best PS is written by you, because it is your story as an applicant. You can have, there are a lot of providers on the internet, freelancers. If you want them to write it, probably they can write it. They can use Chat GPT, etc. But it is your story, and you are going to be in the interview. So the programs can very quickly figure out whether you have written it. Is it you whose personality is being reflected in the PS, or someone else? So our suggestion is at least the rough draft, at least the crux of the story should come from you, and then we can refine it and all that. But the core should be yours.
So now the next important question which students keep on asking us, like letter of recommendation, how important they are, and how many they should have in one season, and whether they can use the old LORs or not. So all the questions related to LORs, how they are impactful for the application.
Okay, so obviously all of you should know that minimum 3 LORs are a requirement. We work with our students to have at least 4, because 4 you can put for each program, and you should focus on US LOR. So from your USCE, from your research, anything that you have done in the US, these are the most critical ones. Do not leave it till the last minute. This is another thing, with 1 month to go, now you should be getting in touch with the preceptors. And if you have done rotations through Sarthi, we'll help you as well. So don't leave it to the last minute. All LORs have to be waived. So technically, your preceptor should have uploaded. You should not have. they should be customized and personalized. So the specific cases that you saw, how you held the team, how you held the family meeting, the personalization of LOR is the most important thing. And we have classes on LOR if you are interested, and if you are our student, that you can see how, if you are have to craft the LOR. That's the other thing. Many preceptors will ask you to craft the LOR. So we have step-by-step guidance on that. Then obviously the LOR is more impactful if it is on hospital letterhead. If you have had some inpatient experience as part of that LOR or that experience, that is good. Although of course outpatient also works. And so these are some of the things that you have to understand for a letter of recommendations. Home country LORs don't necessarily have that impact unless you recently completed your residency, for example, or let's say you're a very recent graduate with high scores, but we generally recommend US LORs.
So the next question is, still we have seen lots of IMGs who are struggling with the USCs. They couldn't get the visa, they couldn't get the hands-on rotation. So what they should do right now?
So yes, what we are recommending to our students is, if you cannot travel. Now, travel can, lack of travel could be for various reasons. Let's say you're preparing for step 3. Let's say you're already doing a rotation, or as you said, they don't get the visa. I think tele-rotations are still very powerful. Tele-rotations are of different types. One can be didactics-based tele-rotation, which is you're discussing bread and butter cases in your specialty, but there is no patient interaction. You are presenting cases, discussing cases with the program directors, like in our case, or otherwise. And then the second type of tele-rotation is where you're actually assigned patients. So live patients, 5 to 10 a day. You use EMR systems, you manage those patients, you present them to the attending. So I think tele-rotations are still very, very impactful if you cannot travel, or for whatever reason you cannot be on site. So consider tele-rotations, and Swati or Sejal can send you some of those tele-rotations from our side.
Sure. So if a student have 1 month left to apply for ERAS, so do we have any rotation which provide more than 3 LORs?
So we definitely have rotations with 2 LORs. Like the program director rotations are there in tele. In on-site, I think most of the rotations that provide 2 LORs are booked for September, but there are several on-site rotations available, at least with 1 LOR. And there are many tele-rotations also available with patient contact that are available for September.
I think this is helpful for all the students here, all the doctors, IMGs here. So my next question is, like, since this application deadline is coming very near, so what are the materials we should gather now, and what preparation we should do before applying?
So obviously, at this point you should be getting ready to be certified if you're not certified. So ECFMG certification, which means step 1, CK, OET, and many students are still about to take their CK or OET. So that I think is very critical. You have to apply with complete application. Get in touch with your college for MSPEs, right? They are also important. Then many of you would be needing more rotation. So September, like I mentioned, make sure to utilize September. September is critical. LORs, like we already mentioned, start working on your MyERAS application. As I said, personal statement takes time. So all these documents, now is the time to start gathering it. If you have issues with MSP, I think ECFMG can help you, but rest everything else, including transcripts, you should be getting ready. And we'll talk about, I think, program list in a minute, but for documentation, that's all.
So one more question on the same topic. So if a student is not certified by 28 September, 27 or 28 September, and they are certified after 28 September, so they are eligible to apply in SOAP or not?
Oh, no, no, they are eligible to apply even otherwise. So even if you're not certified, you should still go ahead and apply if you have, step 1 CK and OET done. So certification is not a requirement to apply. You should go ahead and apply, and then you can follow up with the programs. If you have red flags like low scores, attempts, older YOG, we strongly encourage that you should be certified before you apply, but that is not a requirement.
Thank you. So now, next question is, there are new ERAS changes, right? So what will be the impact of the application, and how we should take these changes, whether they are helpful to a IMG or not, and how they should take it, these changes.
Yeah. So yes, this is, I think, the most critical piece for this season. ERAS CV, as I mentioned, has completely changed. So till last season, you could have 35 experiences and, programs will go through it. Now, what they've said is limit to 10, number one. Number two, there was a supplemental ERAS application for the last 2-3 seasons that has been folded in the ERAS CV itself. So where you can give the 7 signals, for example, in internal medicine, geographic preferences, and rural, suburban kind of options. So ERAS CV has tremendously changed. It is going to be a lot different, and we will have webinars with the program directors on how they will assess. But I will tell you, like I mentioned, that recent experiences will be valued very, very highly. You should put in all types of experience. So USCE, work experience, volunteering, research, all at least one, including hobbies, because there is no separate section for the ERAS. And then out of those 10, you can identify 3 meaningful experiences. And that's where, our team is working with the students in order to identify what would be the meaningful experiences, in order to shortlist those 10 experiences. Like I said, applying to multiple specialties could now be a challenge with the limitation on 10. So I encourage you to A, watch our previous webinar on this ERAS CV, and B, if you are a Sarthi student, really get to us with your ERAS CV so that we can start reviewing the CV. This is going to be a game changer for this season.
So I was wondering, if IMG is applying for 2 specialties, how they will, accommodate their experience if they are older graduate or they are repeat applicant. So they must be having lots of experiences. So, and how Sarthi will help them?
So yes, so like I said, it is going to be tough. Some specialties can go together, like IM, FM. So primary care can go together. You can probably play with the grammar and how to articulate. So that is one thing that we help, right? We help you articulate the experience in a way that sometimes if you need to make it generic enough for multiple specialties, you can. The CV is, of course, we have multiple classes on the CV, which are done by our physician panelists. So you can see each and every section of ERAS CV, how to fill it. Then it is also reviewed by both physicians and the journalist. And then nowadays in our Telegram group, we have a closed group. We are discussing these aspects on a daily basis. So it's a lot of things. But yes, older YOGs and those who have red flags applying to multiple specialty, ERAS is going to be challenging.
Okay. So if you want your question to be answered, so please send it to everyone rather than just sending to host and panelists.
Yes.
So yeah, let's proceed to the next section. So how important is the research? And if IMG haven't done the research yet, what they can do in 1 month time?
Okay, so As all of you probably know, research is becoming increasingly important for the last 3-4 years. First the CS went away because of COVID. Second, the step 1 got pass fail. The programs are looking at other ways to assess the IMGs, whether it is step 3, whether it is CK score, whether it's research. So research has absolutely become very, very important. If you do not have research at this time, we do have research courses that are led by the Director of Clinical Research at Hackensack, and maybe Sejal, you or Swati, you can post that link. In this 1 month, publication is very difficult, because journals have their own lead time, but at least try to submit your research, whether it's a manuscript, case report, posters. If you have not done something, probably we can help you. We do have courses, or for September, if you enroll now, we can still get your research submitted. And so that is something that we can help. Try to get it at least to a submissions page before you apply, because then in ERAS you can put it as submitted.
So this submitted will have some impact, or
Yes, of course. Obviously public, if it is published, then that is the best, right? But like if someone has not started, then submitted is also good. It still comes in under your research publications.
So I have seen someone is posting his profile. If you want a profile review with us, with our team, so we do it for free for all the IMGs. So I think Sejal have posted the link. You can book your profile review, and from there you can go ahead. So let's move
take this question also. I will take the questions. I'm reading it. So once we get through the initial questions, I'll go through the profile questions as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. So next section is program list. How one should create the program list and how it is helpful, and if you can explore more on Sarthi program list, how you have created that.
So program list is for all of you that are applying this season or maybe next. So let's say internal medicine, there are 626 programs that will show up in ERAS that you can apply to. But obviously, there are multiple factors. One is financial. Each program you apply to will cost you about $26. So you cannot randomly apply to 600 programs. I mean, that itself will break your budget. So it's important to see what your eligibility is, whether it is visa status, whether it is the scores criteria, whether it is the YOG criteria. All that, if you have time, you should research. You should absolutely narrow it down. Again, depending on the profile, let's say in internal medicine, a visa-seeking applicant, definitely 150 to 200 programs will apply to. Now, what are the sources of the program list? Program website is one. You can go to individual programs. Frida is another. You can go to Frida and check. Residency Explorer is another. So these are all the sources. And then how Sarthi works is we also use these sources. We work internally with our students, with our panelists to improve the list, to put in all the latest data that is made available to you. So let's say you are a Sarthi student, you will be given a list of 10 programs. You contribute to those 10 programs by researching it. You put it in the list, everyone else works on it, and you get the best list possible. So that way you can save money and you can actually apply to the programs that fit your profile. And then what we also do is over the last 5 to 7 years, whichever programs our students have interviewed at, we have that profile. So for example, if you go to Cook County on the Sarthi list, you will see Cook County, how many people have interviewed, what was their profile in terms of scores, YOG, visa status, etc. So we have this information for all the programs. And when it comes to the interviews, we actually show you what type of questions these programs are asking. So it's a comprehensive list we have, but you have other options also, Frida and all that.
Okay, thank you. It was good to know. So let's move to next section, program outreach. How Sarthi helps and what is exactly the program outreach and how IMG should do this?
So program outreach is, as the name suggests, you are talking about your interest to the program, whether it's a program coordinator, program director, other stakeholders in the program, and there are various channels. You can email them, connect them on LinkedIn, fax them, call them. But what is more important is what to say, when to say, how to say it, what not to say. So all these things, right? Whether it's writing an email, how long should the email be, what to include in the email. So that's where our classes tell you step by step what to write, what not to write. We have our classes. We have one-on-one sessions, you can have with me. If you are in platinum, of course, you can talk to your platinum mentor. So it is important, and program outreach definitely can impact your chances. And this is something that goes throughout the season. A lot of students think program outreach starts only in September and after you apply, but our students have been doing it for the past 1 month, 2 months, and they have already gotten good results where programs have been telling them, yes, we'll review your application.
So you mean to say, like, if we are interested in any program and they are hosting any event or any conference, so we should go there and attend that event?
So open events
Open
and
houses,
virtual
yeah.
conferences, open houses are also a good way. But just attending may not, help, as in 200 students are there already. So you have to try to make a one-on-one connection with the program. But yes, absolutely go and get to know about the program, their curriculum, didactics, the IMG percentage and things like that.
So this reminds me about the networking as well, because if you are outreaching, so you are doing networking. So do Sarthi also help with the networking, how they should, network with the programs or other IMGs, faculties, physicians, PDs. So do we help in for the networking as well?
So, in terms of the rotations, there are rotations as well. Those are the best way to connect with the physicians. We also obviously work with the PDs and all, but yeah, we can help depending on the profile.
Okay. So next is like the season's deadline and planner, what they should do, how they plan, and what should be the goal, to work on the timeline for ERAS.
Okay, so I think the season's timeline is important. Obviously, everyone is focused on September 27th, so that is just one part of it. And then what you should be doing is figuring out October, November, December, whether it is the rotations you are doing or program outreach or even research. So what are you going to do in the next 3 months is important. A lot of people think that match ends on September 27th. That is not the case. Everything and anything you do till at least December will count, including step 3. And I'll come to step 3 in a minute. But it is important for you to plan this journey well, especially from September to December. That is important, all aspects, whether it's your interviewing, whether it is your work, whether it is rotations, research, all of them will count even after September 27th.
So as you said about step 3, right? How important is step 3 and who should take it?
So step 3, again, because of the multiple reasons I spoke about, CS going away, step 1 pass fail, step 3 is becoming a lot more important. Now, who should take it? People who have red flags, older YOGs, attempts, low scores, absolutely, regardless of the specialty, try to get it done as soon as possible. If you're a recent graduate with 240 plus, 250 plus, possibly you can delay it, you don't need it right away, but all other people should take it. Step 3 definitely can lead to increasing number of interviews for you if you do it on time and let the programs know on time.
So that was the last point, 10 point of 10 essential points. So is there anything you want to tell our audience?
No, I think, like I
Regarding the-
mentioned, this is a critical month, and focus on getting the application together, focus on getting that US clinical experience, absolutely important for the last month, especially if you need an LOR, and focus on getting something submitted for research. Remember, ERAS has changed. You don't have the luxury of putting in 15 experiences. So just be very diligent and careful about what experience you put in. Okay, I think, Swati, are we ready to take the questions now?
Yes, we are ready to take the questions.
Okay, so I can go ahead and take it.
Please.
Let me see. Can case reports also come in research? And the answer is yes, case reports can be coming in research, not a problem. My YOG is 2018. Does 5-year YOG filter applicable to me? Yes, I guess you will have to talk to the programs you are on the borderline. Definitely apply unless the program really is very strict. Okay. Can I apply individually if I'm also applying for couples match? Yes, of course, everyone has to apply individually, even if you're applying for a couples match. That is coming in NRMP. Can I include work experience and meaningful experience? Well, you can include work experience as part of meaningful experience. Cricket team captain, how it impacted you to be a team player. I don't know. I mean, unless you really played at the national level, if you played in your college and all, that is not really an impactful experience. How to find programs according to our credentials, I think I already mentioned. Go to Frida, or that is your best source. Or if you're a Sarthi student, Sarthi list can help you. For internal medicine, do I need to do research and publication for residency? Research is becoming important for all specialties, and depending on your profile, yes, it will be important for IM as well. What else? Let me see. IMG with low scores, 230s, or not low, but 230 step 2, pass step 1, home country in OBGYN residency, strong recommendation in surgery and OBGYN. Where I apply to get the best shot? It's hard to say without looking at your profile in detail, but I can tell you OBGYN categorical is going to be very hard. Your best shot probably is going to be prelim year. Okay, the WhatsApp number is not working. I cannot find the WhatsApp profile. So probably, Sejal, you need to check on the WhatsApp. I think our WhatsApp number is not working. We do not offer free mock interviews, unfortunately. All our mocks are offered by either program directors or residents or panelists. So we cannot offer free mock interviews. What do you mean exactly by low score? Is there a range? Yes, go to NRMP and look at the averages for your specialty. It varies by specialty. Do we add home country PG also to the YOG? No. When they talk about YOG, they are only talking about your MBBS YOG. How to do program outreach and more USCE. If the application is already done in September, you have to do offline. So whether it's calling them, emailing them, faxing them. What else? What kind of oral presentations count for publications? As long as they are in a US or international conference, that should be fine. Oral presentation done as part of your rotations or in your college do not count. Should I apply as I graduated in 2001? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've had 25-year, 23-year-old YOG match. So if you have done with your USCE and scores, why not? Is scoring step high in step 3 important? Well, average that we are seeing in step 3 is 230. So yes, high scores are important. At least 230 you should target. What should we say to the PD? Anesthesia change to IM, and this is something we discuss in our interview classes as well. So it depends on your profile, but focus on the IM specific experiences and rotations that you have done. How many experiences do I have to put to balance between neurology and medicine? Again, I don't know, Manish. It will depend on your profile. Recent experiences come first, maybe 3 each, who knows? So we'll have to look at your profile if you are interested. Telerotation LOR, will it be useful for anesthesia match? Depends on what you ended up doing in that telerotation. Step 2 is 253, YOG 10 years, home country residency, chances of matching. They are actually high. Your score is good. You have a YOG of 10 plus years, but that's fine. You have a home country residency. So absolutely, you have a good shot. Okay, I think we are coming to the end. There are a lot of other questions. So probably you can email us the questions and then we'll take it up in other webinars also. Sejal, maybe put them, send them the email, enroll@USMLESarthi.com so that they can put in the questions. And of course, if you need help, we can help as well, as part of our plans. So.
And I think most of them are, asking for the profile review. So I would suggest just book the profile review. Otherwise, send your profile on enroll@USMLESarthi.com. And please don't forget to mention all the things like step scores, how much USC and research experience, including what all you have done. So just put everything and which specialty you are applying, your year of graduation.
So Swati, one sec. Instead of sending an email, that same page has a form. They have to fill that. So don't send it to enroll. So give them the link to the page where they can submit their profile review. And there are questions on how to join Sarthi Scratch to Match program. So maybe you can send them that link as well. Okay. All right. I think, if you want to grab some links, Swati will be there, but grab the links. And if you have other questions, email us or book a profile review. And then we'll see you on another webinar very soon. Thank you, everyone, and good luck for the next month and the upcoming season.
And kindly just give the feedback about this webinar, how informative it was and how helpful it was.